Okay, let's take a look at another look at kind of a mix of the EPR and macro quantum mechanics. Macro quantum mechanics. If we see here an electron entering a room, we could ask the electron, "Hey, what are you going to do when you enter the room?" And he won't be able to answer. There's actually in quantum mechanics, in a sense, or in physics in general, sometimes two observers. There's the observer that affects the particle, and then there's the observer that observes the effect of the particle. So this is kind of like two observers in a sense, and to wonder which of the observers is the one that changes the behavior of the particle. We can see here. Let's see how it affects this electron. Well, when the electron enters this room, the electric field is up. The electron will go down, of course. If the electron enters this room, the gravitational field is up. It'll go up. The electron will go up. And here, with a magnetic field in this room, the electron will, with the magnetic field is out of the page, and the electron is flying this way, it'll go up also. So, in a sense, the environment is an observer. It is changing the electron, and the electron cannot, we can't know something about the electron that it's going to do in the future. I guess that's a little bit different than when most people say they want to know what a property of the electron at that moment. But things get a little bit skewed, because time is also inside a wave function. So predicting the entire wave function accurately sometimes can be a problem. Notice that in the macro quantum mechanics, with the dad coming to the breakfast table, how is the dad going to behave? We can ask the dad, "Hey, how are you going to behave when you go to the breakfast table?" Well, he'll go, "I don't know who's there. If my wife is there, I'm going to behave one way. If my kids are there, I'm going to behave a different way. And if there are some raccoons there, I'm going to behave a different way." So when we ask the dad, "How are you going to behave in the future?" There's again two observers. There's the environment he's going to walk into, and then there's the person over here who's going to watch him behave a certain way with his wife, behave a certain way with his children, and behave a certain way with the raccoons. And that's the observer that says, "Wow, that dad seems like he's got a mind of his own." And he could have almost said the exact same thing with the electron going if he didn't know about these fields. He goes, "Oh, it seems like that electron has a mind of its own. Sometimes it's going down, up, or down." So we need to realize the environment that particle is going into, and that environment may involve wave functions of their own. Again, the word observer, and how the observer changes the behavior or the characteristics, the quantitative characteristics of the particle. Here, yes, we're asking something very complex with a dad and the psychological behavior he has towards people or wild animals. Here, we're just asking, a electron of this. So it's supposed to be a simpler particle. That an electron is simpler than a dad. And a dad is much more complex. The psychological behaviors of a dad are much more complicated than an electron. So if we simplify the particle from a dad to an electron, we simplify the characteristics that we want to know about. Also, the spin up, spin down, whether it's going to go up or down, and so on. But either way, the electron would not be able to answer until it would not be able to tell us what it was going to do until it met its first observer, if you will. The first observer is the electron. The second observer is the physicist over here who is watching the electron behave a certain way. I don't know if this makes any sense, but we can see similarities between macro quantum mechanics and micro quantum mechanics here. And the EPR is, basically Einstein asking the electron, hey, I want to know which way you're going to go, up or down here. And the electron honestly telling him, I don't know. I don't know until I get in there. And so it's only the two observers, the environment and the physicist, who will know this. The first environment seems to manipulate the behavior and quantitative characteristics of the particle involved, whether it's an electron or a dad.